Afternoon, everyone. It's me, Skin Glow and Afro, and I am back to film some more YouTube videos. I wanted to actually talk on here about the whole 50 Cent and Lil Wayne situation that happened this week. So, if you don't know, basically 50 Cent was on like a FaceTime or video call, whatever, with Lil Wayne, and he was making these horrible, nasty, colorist comments, basically calling black women bitter and all these kind of derogatory terms, and saying that the kind of women that he likes are exotic, and that basically black women should not be so mad over it. And I'm just thinking to myself, huh? When do we care? The truth of the matter is, most of us black women don't actually care when black men choose to date outside their race. And the funny thing is, black women can be exotic too. I mean, West Indian people, African people, are they not exotic now? Or is it only classed as exotic if you are dating someone who is non-black, non-African, non-West Indian? Are those the only people who are classed as exotic? Because it really does not make any sense to me whatsoever how you can sit there and chat all that bloody nonsense and just expect, black women to tolerate it. It's a bunch of bullshit, honestly.
Oh, yo, this is why they get mad, they get angry. You see a lot of sisters, they go, "Oh, you fucking with this kind of girl or that kind of girl." That shit is exotic.
Stupid.
That shit look a lot different from the shit that you see in the neighborhood all the time. It looks like that shit look like it came off a boat, baby. Goddamn, you don't like that, motherfucker? You don't like that? You go, goddamn, what's the matter with you? This feels like something foreign. It feels like something that you can't just get. So in some kind of ways, it is interesting to explore. You know what I'm saying? But they get mad, they get angry. How did you end up with this motherfucker or this, that? I'm like, huh?
For real. They get
I
real
just look at it like,
upset.
oh, look at this angry. And then my instincts always makes me defensive. So I go, look at this angry black motherfucker. Get the fuck out of here. You're trying to fuck up the whole vibe. You understand what I'm saying to you? Because you go, see what I'm saying? Oh, yo, this is why they get mad, they get angry.
It really is a bunch of bullshit, and I don't understand how Lil Wayne was listening to what 50 Cent was saying and he was there cackling away like a schoolgirl. Like, these are grown men in their 40s and they're acting like that. Acting like a bunch of school children. Like, exotic, all these kind of colorist language and calling black women bitter and all this kind of stuff. And I'm just thinking to myself, at this point, it's kind of boring. It's boring. It's unnecessary. I don't understand why they keep saying these things. Like, come on now, big 2020, and you're still acting like you're in your early 20s or acting like a teenager. In fact, I shouldn't insult teenagers because some of them know better than grown-ass men. Yeah, let me not insult them too tough. We all know where colorism stems from. We all know this. And we also know that it takes time to unlearn this. But if you are a grown man who is reaching 50 and you still haven't unlearned colorism, there is a massive issue there. Massive issue. Your whole life is so full of anti-blackness, you cannot see the negativity there. And the funniest thing about this whole situation is, if you, like Lil Wayne, 50 Cent, didn't have any money, these exotic women you are chasing after would not even be checking for you in the first place. Because I know how these women operate. Yeah, there is a reason why 50 Cent's first partner, the mother of his oldest child, was a black woman, and there is a reason why Lil Wayne's ex-wife is also a black woman. Okay, now as soon as they started getting a little bit of money in their pocket, then they started feeling themselves a little bit. They didn't want to be associated with black women anymore. That's not what they wanted. They wanted, light, bright women, exotic kind of women. And it's just kind of like, at this point, it's foolishness. You know, I understand these dynamics. They see, like, you know, when you start dating someone who's light skinned or white, they see it as status of power. They somehow think that they can, you know, escape by attaching themselves to these women, and it doesn't work. How many times do I have to say that proximity to whiteness does not give you their privilege? Yeah, they have this privilege, light skin privilege and white privilege. Yeah, they have this privilege, but you associate yourself with them does not mean you will have that same privilege. That's not how it works, okay? That's not how it works, because there are plenty of people in interracial relationships and they're still getting pulled over by the police. They're still getting murdered by the police. Yeah, they're still getting discriminated against. They're still getting followed around in the stores, but somehow you think that this will pass you by because you got money in your bank account and because you are dating someone who is light skinned or white. No, sir. I just honestly think people need to, you know, get a clue, get a grip, have some sense, read up on what colorism is, try to unlearn these things, have these conversations, but you don't want to do that. You don't want to do that because you're so caught up in the fact that people see you as just a money bag, and you're happy with that because that inflates your ego. And I'm not understanding this whole ego nonsense. Like, let it go, bruh. Let it go. Because you have to remember that when these things happen, when the police, you know, targets a black man, you have to remember it's not necessarily these white women or these white women or Asian women, whatever, the ones you call as exotic, who are marching for you, who are protesting for your justice. No, it's black women who are doing it all the time. It's like black women are only good enough to march and protest for you, but to date you, to get married to you, to have children with you, you don't see them as worthy of that. Or sometimes you only see them as worthy of having your child, but getting married to that person, you don't see their worth in that. And that really is really hurtful, you know. But honestly, me personally, I don't really care for 50 Cent and Lil Wayne like that. Like, I'm in my 30s now, I don't really listen to their music like that anymore, because I mean, to be fair, I mean, has their music changed? No. Lil Wayne's still there talking about he wants a red bone. 50 Cent is basically like a bubble-headed Negro. Like, what am I supposed to say about that? Don't get me wrong, I love his old music. I will listen to it when I feel to it, but at the end of the day, I'm not going to like go searching for it if I don't want to. You know, and Lil Wayne, meh. The Carter 3 was amazing, but that's all I gotta say about that. So, you know, these colorist men, let them stay colorist, because at the end of the day, when we black women decide to walk away from you, then you're gonna learn the cold-hearted truth. And that's all I have to say about that. So anyway, please let me know your thoughts down below in the comments about Lil Wayne and 50 Cent's colorist comments. I shall be including a video, so if you have not seen it yet, because it was posted on the Shade Room, and you know, and it's kind of like, at this point, it's kind of like, which other black celebrity male is gonna come up with this bullshit? Because there's a hell of a lot of them who are colorist. And you know, a lot of people don't believe in cancel culture, but me personally, I do. Like, cancel their blood clots. You understand? Cancel them. Alright, I gone. Bye.